In this video, we will be looking into some basic things regarding inequalities. So for any two numbers A and B, so if A is greater than B, then A minus B is positive. And if A is less than B, then A minus B is negative. And if A is greater than or equal to B, A minus B is either positive or zero. And if A is less than or equal to B, A minus B is either negative or 0. So these are some basic things which we already know from our before from our previous knowledge. So now let us look into these things. So we call an inequality that is true for all numbers or for all positive numbers. So we refer it as a complete inequality. So if suppose let's say we have this equality x square greater than or equal to 0. So this is true for all integers and all positive integers. So this is basically called as complete inequality. So that is the one thing which we have to remember. And so the linear equalities can be solved by simply applying the addition or subtraction or division on both sides. So linear equalities are nothing but the inequalities of the type x plus 5 greater than 0, x minus 5. Like it can have the degree as maximum degree on both sides as 1. So that is the linear equalities. Like for suppose we have 5x plus 6 greater than some 75. So in order to solve this, we have to add 6 on both sides. So we'll get 81 here, and we have to divide 5 on both sides here. So here what we are doing, we are basically either adding or subtracting or multiplying or dividing on both sides of the inequalities. So in this way we'll generally solve these linear inequalities. So now while solving the inequalities of polynomial, so we can simply transform the terms to one side and try to find the roots of the polynomial, and then after we try to consider the bounds. So we then try to compare the sign of the polynomial with different inputs. So we could imagine a rough graph of the polynomial of how it passes through zeros, and then we find the approximate bounds of the inequality. So first suppose let's say we have x minus 3 whole square times x minus 4 whole power 5 times x minus 6 whole power 4 greater than 0. So what we'll do is we'll just try to plot the roots in an ascending order, and we'll just try to keep one value greater than this 5 or less than this 3, and in between value these two, and we'll try to see the signs here. So but for every odd power the sign will change, and for every even power the sign remains constant. So now you can keep any number less than 3 in this. So if we keep, suppose let's say 2, we'll get 1 square minus 2 whole power 5. So we're getting a negative sign here. So since this is negative sign, so since we have even power here, so our sign remains constant. And now at 4 our power is 5, so the sign will change. And at 5 the sorry, this is 6. Since the root is 6, we will write this as 6. So here the power is 4, so it is even, and so what we'll do, we'll just, the sign remains constant. So basically this polynomial f of x is negative in this region. See, negative in less than 0 in minus infinity to this 4, and f of x is greater than 0 in 4 to infinity. So this is what basically how to solve this polynomial inequalities. So now we'll see this rational inequalities. So rational inequalities are of the form, or they are of the form f of x by g of x equal to k. So we can just, if we just cross multiply them, So again we'll get them as in, this is also a polynomial. Since f of x and g of x are polynomials, we'll get another polynomial and we'll just try to proceed in the same way which we have done before. So, and so in order to solve this, we just try to cross multiply the fraction on both sides, and then we try to transform it into the polynomial inequality. We thereby proceed to find the appropriate bounds of one variable values. So that completes this video. So we'll just meet in the next video.